Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Leela Rhodes, and I'll be your moderator. We want to thank you so much for joining us here at NetCom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's webinar, CCNP Enterprise Networks, Move One Step Closer to Advanced Networking, and presenting today's topic is Talib Bakhtiari. Talib is a certified Cisco Systems Instructor and a NetCom Learning subject matter expert. He is an IT veteran with over 24 years of experience specializing in the data center, security, and service provider network infrastructure. With his domain expertise in network consultancy, training, pre-sales, project management, virtualization, client-server support, and he has trained diverse corporate clients and individual students with a key focus on learner-centric content quality. Talib has provided expert-level training to learners globally and helped them gain proficiency in Cisco technologies, network administration, CCNA, CCNP, routing, switching, and network design, and much more. Now, please bear in mind that this is still just an overview of a very robust topic. We do offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored toward your specific requirements. If you're interested in a further discussion about any of those, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at www.netcomlearning.com. NetCom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. And we do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We have 9 practice areas in which we specialize, and they encompass people, process, and technology training. And today's presentation is from the networking practice area. NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio for networking courses, and our upcoming classes include various trainings on implementing and operating Cisco Enterprise Network core technologies, ENCOR v1.2, and designing Cisco Enterprise networks, and much more. Private training to teams is also available, and those learning plans can be customized to the specific needs of that audience. You can also access a variety of networking marketing assets, such as the free 1-hour training, free on-demand training, and blogs by clicking on the available webinar handout. And these offerings can also be found with a simple search on our website at www.netcomlearning.com. In this webinar, we will learn how to implement core enterprise network technologies and overlay network design using SD-Access and SD-WAN solutions. Also, we will learn how to implement security principles, automation, and programmability within an enterprise network, and much more. And now I am going to go ahead and pass the time over to Talib to present the topic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Today we have very exciting CCNP Enterprise webinar, Move One Step Closer to Advanced Networking, okay? And in this webinar, we're gonna talk about how you can achieve CCNP Enterprise, okay? And I'm gonna show you what kind of courses you need. And before starting this webinar, whatever our agenda is, I'm gonna show you some very important courses, okay? So let me start, just give me 1 minute. So this one is my first slide. So let me show you this web page. So I just wanted to know if you guys can see this web page, and it shows CCNP Enterprise. Okay. So in this web page, if you guys focus, in order to pass CCNP Enterprise, actually you need to pass at least 2 exams, okay? Let me talk about a little bit of exam, and then we're gonna jump on our agenda. Okay. So first, you're gonna go for 350401, which is implementing and operating Cisco Enterprise Network Core Technology. This is a core exam. You need this training, 40 hours training, okay? And after that, based on your choice, based on your requirement, okay, you can pick any concentration exams, like you can go for implementing Cisco Enterprise Advanced Routing and Services. And I'm going to tell you about those subjects also. Okay. First is core technologies. In this core technologies, we're going to talk about modern networking. Like nowadays, we are having controller based networking. If you still people are working on CLI, or like equipment by equipment based configuration and administration is here, but now things are changing. Okay, so now our network not only just managing traditional applications, data centers. We have a cloud centric network, so our traditional network is not enough to support that type of infrastructures and business application. And that's why we have new networking, and especially when Cisco launched CCNP Enterprise. So here our focus is software-defined networking, where we control our networking through software. That's what we're gonna talk about. Okay, so first, in a core, we're gonna discuss our core technology, and after that we have concentration exam. Let's see, if you really wanted to know more about routing, you can go for this training, okay, which is ENARSI 300410. And after that, we have another very exciting subject, implementing Cisco SD-WAN solution. And so this one is basically software-defined networking solution for wide area networks. Like we have branches, we have main office, campus, data centers, how we can connect those branches, campus, so then our business applications runs on top of that. Okay, so we're gonna discuss in this training. And you know why people are going towards software defined WAN solution? Right now, this is not my topic, I'm just giving you a quick idea. So the reason is why people are going for this, because now we are using cloud-based networking. Let's see, my 50% servers are on cloud, and my 50% servers in on-prem network, or maybe 25% servers on cloud. So if you have a cloud-centric network, so traditional network is not that enough. Traditional WAN is not that enough to support that kind of infrastructure. So that's why we have SD-WAN. Core you always need, but then you're gonna choose just one course. So once you pass two exam, you will get CCNP Enterprise. And then we have a designing. If you want to be designing guy, you can go for that training. And then we have another designing Cisco Enterprise wireless network. So if you want to design wireless network, so this one is your training 300425. And if you want to design network, so that is your training 420. And plus, after that, we have a wireless network implementation. If you wanna, let's see, a wireless guy, and you really wanna do wireless implementation. So now we don't have a separate track for wireless. Like before, Cisco have a separate track for wireless. Now Cisco merge, route and switch based networks and wireless into enterprise. So here we're gonna talk about wireless, okay? And let's see, if you are having any programming background, or you really wanted to learn as a network engineer, but you really wanted to learn how Python scripting and programming actually work with our network, how we can control our network, especially large network through programming. So this one is your course. So based on your choice, you can pick one, and that is your core exam. And let me tell you one more thing. If you are planning for CCI Enterprise Infrastructure or CCI Enterprise Wireless, if you pass this core exam, this will qualify for you for CCI lab. So you can just go directly for lab. So nowadays you don't need to go for a written exam and then lab exam. You can directly jump on lab after just passing one core exam. Okay. So now let me go back to my presentation. So I gave you idea how many courses you need in a CCNP and what kind of courses you really want to do according to your requirement or your business need, or this is your personal choice. Okay. So now here our focus is CCNP Enterprise Core. Okay. So let's start. Today, our agenda is we're going to discuss dual stack IPv4 and IPv6 architecture. We're going to talk about virtualization. We're going to discuss network assurance. We're going to talk about security and automations. And then after that, you guys can ask a question. Okay. So the idea is, if you guys notice nowadays, especially in a modern CCNP training, okay, here our focus is IPv4 and IPv6 architecture. So why we are focusing on IPv4 to IPv6? Because we are having, lots of internet-based application devices, and IPv4 addresses are almost finished, and especially if you are working on service provider side, so you need IPv6 intensive knowledge. I had myself two CCI, one in service provider, one in data center. So if you are in service provider, you are planning for later, okay, right now my focus is enterprise, but later I want to go for service provider. So IPv6 is very important. Okay. So let's start with IPv4 and IPv6 architecture discussion. But let me tell you one thing. If you guys notice, whatever topics we have, those topics are basically supporting our modern network. So nowadays, our networks are simply upgrading, or some companies already upgraded to software defined networking. So instead of configuring one by one device, going to a one router and switch and typing CLI command, so we control our network infrastructure through controller. Like in an enterprise world, we have a DNS center. So through DNS center, what we can do, I can control my wireless network and my wide network. So we're going to talk about that also. So let's start. Here, dual stack IPv4 and IPv6 architecture. In this IPv4 and IPv6 architecture, why it's very important, why dual stack is very important, because you cannot simply move from IPv4 based network to IPv6, because IPv4, our lots of applications are having IPv4 based networks, our devices. So but we don't have many IPv4 address left, and we have more devices, and those devices are internet based global devices. Okay. So that's why we really wanted to know how I can work between IPv4 and IPv6 based network. So we're going to discuss in a detail. We're going to go for deep dive when we're going to talk about in a 40 hours course in an enterprise network. Right now, I have only just 40 minutes, so I'm just giving you a basic idea. So we're going to discuss in a detail how I can configure my Cisco routers. So then those routers are like a gateway between IPv4 to IPv6 based networks. Okay. And if you are running IPv4 environment and your service provider is IPv6, so your router can work between two, networks, and that is possible because of dual stack. Very important discussion. And in a core network, we're gonna talk about in a more detail. Okay. And not only Cisco based network, even if you are having a network which is VMware based or any other company based. So you need a dual stack environment, because in many part of world, especially in Europe or in Africa, Asia, people have no IPv4 address left. So you guys will see IPv4 to IPv6 base. So lots of solution here in North America. Still, we have IPv4 addresses. Okay, so that discussions we're gonna discuss in a more detail when we're gonna start our core training. Okay, I have another discussion, which is virtualization. And if I would say virtualization, and I'm sure you guys also have idea, like if I will talk about virtualization, people think, okay, you have a server, you have a one physical machine, that server have CPU, memory, storage. So what we can do, instead of installing one operating system, let's say Windows servers or any Windows, okay, or any other Linux. So what we can do, we're gonna install first hypervisor. On top of this hypervisor, we can install multiple operating systems. So before, I was running one operating system on one physical device. Now I'm running 10 or 50 operating systems on my one physical device. So that is simple server virtualization. But now in a modern network, we have different types of virtualizations. We have network virtualizations, server virtualization, storage virtualizations. Okay, and what is network virtualization? Let's see, I'm running my network. We are a data center company or service provider company, and I have multiple customers. I have a customer A. Customer A really wanna transfer information from their sites to main data center, and really wanna use same infrastructure, same physical infrastructure. So what we basically do in our network, we use same physical infrastructure, but our customer A sites, let's say have 100 sites, can talk to each other. And if I have a customer B sites will talk to customer B sites, customer C, like we have thousands of customers. Let's say if I'm running my data centers, my service provider. So that is possible because of server virtualization, because of network virtualization, because of storage virtualization. I can buy many storage devices and I can share with with my multiple customers. Even I have a different group of companies I can share with that. So virtualization is also big driver of software defined networking. Why I'm talking about software defined networking? Because now we are changing for last 10 years. I remember when I started like 11 years or 10 years before, Cisco started first software defined networking solution for data center, and they started with ACI. And after that, Cisco launched software defined networking solutions for WAN, which is SD-WAN. Also Cisco launched software defined networking solutions for campus and branches. That's what you're gonna learn in this core CCNP, which is Cisco DNS Center. So that's what I'm gonna also talk about. So through those software defined networking, I can basically control my users, my applications, my devices, my virtualized environment, my server environment, which is big challenge if you will go one by one and manage devices in a traditional way. So that's the big driver of SD-WAN or software defined networking is virtualization. Okay, and then I have
We're going to take a quick moment to hear from Mary. Mary is our product manager, and she's going to introduce some of our promotions and webinar related courses.
Hello, Leela.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And Talib, that was a great session. I guess so much to learn about Cisco. And what I want to do in the next few minutes while you're logging in your questions, I'd like to bring you to the website wherein you can get more information on the different courses and certification that Cisco has. And I think, Talib, delved more on the enterprise, but Cisco has several tracks that you can look into depending on your job role. So I'd like to go to, this is our website, netcomlearning.com, and you can actually just go to the Cisco vendor page. So just moving on to that, if you go to the vendor page, you can see various assets wherein you can get more information about the different technology track. So as you can see here, Cisco has the associate level wherein you can start off, kickstart your learning, whether you have your CCNA, which normally starts off your networking training. And as Talib discussed, for the developers in you, there Cisco has added about a couple years back the DevNet track. And then for security professionals, you have your cyber ops, you have your specialist, and then the professional level, which provides you different options on Cisco because there are different roles even on the solution areas or the technology tracks that Cisco has. And if you go to, say, for example, the enterprise, then you can see here all of the courses that you can get. As Talib said, you have to pass the core exam. This is the common body of knowledge on your enterprise, which is your encore. And then you can choose depending on what makes sense more for you, right? For if you need more on advanced routing and switching, or you're delving on wireless, SD-WAN. So there are different instructor-led courses that you can take. Now, if your team prefers self-paced training, Cisco has e-learning library as well that you can take advantage of. So going to our website again and clicking on training, you can go to our e-learning library and pick Cisco. There is a special package that you can take advantage of. And going through this page, you can see here that you can pick, if in case you need just one e-learning, you can actually buy from here. You can read the outline for this and directly enroll in this e-learning. Each learning has 180-day access, right? Now, if you're responsible for a whole track, you can also purchase the all access pass. So this allows you to purchase packages for enterprise, for security, for data center, collaboration, and DevNet. Now, what's the beauty of this is that with one price, you have access to all of the self-paced e-learning for this particular track. And typically, you may be wearing several hats, so you may be needing different skills to achieve your work. Now, if you want the bigger all access subscription, then for the price of $87.95, you have access to all of these. If you look at it price wise, for $5,995, you're able to access all the e-learning. Each e-learning normally costs you about close to 2,000, but here with one price you're able to access them and at one payment. So I would encourage you to review this information, as well as if you need more guidance from our learning consultants, I would advise you to email webinar@netcomlearning.com. Another thing that I'd like to visit, lastly, go to our promotions page and see what are some specials that we may have for you that you may be interested in. And lastly, I'd like you to visit the NetCom Plus if your company would love to or are used to buying subscription. Then NetCom Plus is our subscription, which is combining ILT, instructor-led class, and e-learning. So that's over 140 instructor-led courses that you can access for a year, as well as the 250 e-learning that's included in that. Again, the best way email webinar@netcomlearning.com, and we will ensure that we um, get you with our learning consultant to answer all your questions and guide you with your skilling. Leela, thank you for the time. I turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Well, with that being said, we're going to go to our questions. Mary, before you do jump off, we do have the usual question that we get, wanting to know if there is any certificate for the webinar, and if so, how they would go about claiming that.
So all the certificates that you may have is actually found in your NetCom 365. So on our website, let me just quickly show that if you don't mind. If you have a profile here, chances are you have, because you have signed up for this webinar. Just go here, sign up, and on course completion or course completed, you can see there an icon for the certificate. So you can download it from there and present it to your boss, or shout it out in your LinkedIn profile. You know, everybody's doing that. So, and if you have any question, again, please feel free to just email that same alias, webinar@netcom. But do explore the benefits that you can get from our NetCom 365. There's some free e-learning there from AWS, and also gives you recommendation on what courses you may need.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Our next question that we have.
Which software client can be used to directly connect to ESXi host server or vCenter? You know what is ESXi? This is hypervisor. So if you install hypervisor on top of your physical server, so on top of that you can install multiple virtual machines, virtual operating system. So in here we have vSphere client we basically use for that. Okay, and then we have here which method is used to pass IPv6 traffic through IPv4 network, like we talk about. If you have IPv6 based environment and you really want to talk to IPv6 based network, so we do dual stack. We call it 6 to 4 tunneling. So that means IPv6 can talk to 4 and IPv4 can talk to IPv6. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And with that being said, I think we are through all of our questions. We want to thank you all for joining us today. If you do come up with any additional questions, please feel free to send them to us at webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. And we hope that you found today's webinar to be informative. We look forward to seeing you back here with us very soon. Also, feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. We want to thank you all once again for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Talib. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Leela. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody.